Welcome back to SHENZHEN IO, where the air quality is poor. Let's keep playing. SHENZHEN Days. The electronics wet market is as sexy as it sounds. One thing I always tell people who come through SHENZHEN for various reasons is to check out the electronics parts market in the Hai Quang area. It's insane. It's super interesting, even if you aren't here for electronics at all. Imagine your traditional Chinese wet market. Bustling with activity, hundreds stalls, but bursting with everything you can imagine, except everything being exchanged is electronic parts. Substitute the smell of fresh solder for frying oil. Think of digital trash littering the streets instead of food scraps. And it's not just a few parts, okay, but every type of part. Like there are the entire markets dedicated to insanely specific things like batteries or LEDs. It's a continuous white-hot exchange of every manner of anything electronic. And the craziest of all, these guys represent manufacturers who are also there. You could find a part from a dude and ask him if he can supply your company with 1 million of them. Later the same day, they could. It could happen. I try to convey the scale of that kind of thing to people who haven't seen it. And it just doesn't come across, you know. Oh, a market, that's nice, is what people would say, especially back when I lived in Vancouver. They probably were picturing something like the local ham radio swap meet they were dragged to when they were 5. They didn't get it. You won't get it either unless you see it. Go see it. Sounds pretty sweet. Cryptocurrency deposit terminal. We've partnered with a major financial service company to create a cryptocurrency deposit terminal for people concerned about turbulence in the financial system. It should do especially well in regions where people are worried about their government-issued currencies may be devalued soon. The terminal reads an account number from a cheap magnetic stripe card and accepts a cash deposit and sends the information to the bank over the internet. Because nearly all the money is flowing in a single direction, we just needed to handle deposits. All right. Let's check out what we got to do. Card reader is a non-blocking X-bus input connected to a magnetic stripped card reader. Card reader is, so on this signal we get a bunch of data. All right. Cash 20, 50, and 100 are simple inputs connected to a mechanism that accepts and detects 20, 50, and $100 bills. Network is an X-bus output connected to a network interface. The user utilizes a transaction by inserting their account card, indicated by an 8-digit packet. 8-digit data packet from the card reader. The user then inserts money as indicated by cash signals. The user finalizes a transaction by ejecting their account card, indicated by a value of -1. The card reader. When transaction is finished, the 8-digit account number and the total amount of deposit should be transmitted over the network to the bank. So let's see. So they put in they put in 8 packets here, and then they do a bunch of work. So 50 plus 20 plus 100, so that's 270, which is what you send right here, this number. And you send that when you get a -1 here. Alright, well, let's see how crazy this is. We need to add this stuff up. And it doesn't look like it can all happen at the same time, which is nice. So that's a good spot to use this guy. Okay, then card reader. So I think we want a chip that adds the money. You know, we'll give it a signal. We'll say I might as well do the big one because we always want the big ones. And I'm never the optimal. Okay, let's sleep until X1 is ready. And then if test of X1 is greater than test of X1 is greater than -900. If it isn't jump to sleep. Sleep 1. If it is, we're going to move 1 into x2, for example. Just as something simple. And then we're going to move x2 into ACC. Alright, so what I want to have happen is sleep until x3 is ready, and move sleep 1. So I'm going to wait until the signal turns to something. I wonder if it always starts at 0. Does it say always starts at 0? Nah, probably doesn't. Alright, so we just got a bunch of data from there. We're going to move 1 into there, and we're going to tell it to go add these numbers. This is going to be our adder. And then when it's done, it will move something like 270 into x3. But that's not exactly how it's going to work, because this has to have a bunch of sleeps in it. Sleep 1, sleep 1. It has to do work because this takes time to insert all these monies. And when it's ready, so now it has to wait. Sleep until x2 is ready. So I need to read, move x3 into null. So I don't care about it yet. I might care about it later, but I don't think I do. We're going to sleep for a bunch, and then we're going to send back 270, and now we have 270 over here. That's nice. And then we will transmit the code we got. And sleep 1, let's see. Test if move x1 into dat maybe. We're going to store that number somewhere because we need to remember it for a while. So we're going to have to hook up this thing. Which means we need 2 buses to do that. Doesn't necessarily have to be this unit that stores it, but it has to be something. Might need another unit. Let's just drop down another unit to keep it simple. And we'll tell it the money or the code to go enter. And then it will talk to the network. It will read and write from this thing and then send our AC along, because this one's really doing the control logic, and I think it's going to get full of instructions just doing control logic. So what this one will do is test if x1 is -1. If it is, we're going to move -1 into x3, let's say. And move move ACK into X3. And that will instruct it. Here's how much money we have. And let's see. Let's see what happens to our first number. So there was a 0. Yeah, so we lost a couple. So we have to do that right here, I think. And then that. And then jump to sleep. And then test. And then otherwise we're moving that into X3. Because we need to get that entire packet over to it. So at this one, we want to transmit all these numbers to this guy. Don't really probably need to do this. Test if it's -1. Test if it's greater than 900. If it's greater than -1, if it is. Move X1 to that. Move that into X3. So if it's -1, then I need to tell it that. And then move. Let's see, that might work. Let's try this. So it's -99. I need to ignore that one though. Test if greater than, test if that is greater than -99. If it is, do these things. Alright, so we got something greater than, so that's over here. Sleep until X1's ready, move X1 into ACK, and sleep. Alright. 1. Jump to 1. Something like that, just to ignore it right now. Okay, we got something. 0, 0, 7. 4, 3, 9, 5. Okay, good. We're ignoring doing all this crap. Actually, right after we've done that, though, we want to kind of hand it off to this one. I guess it doesn't really matter, because once, yeah, it could always move 0 into ACK. We don't really need to hand off. We just need to I don't know. Maybe we do need a handoff. Where would the handoff happen? Handoff would be talking to X2, this line right here. Let's see, we kind of want that done right after this is, right after this line is negative. But it's not always true. It's not always a handoff there. It's like a handoff when maybe what I could do is, after this is done being read, I could tell it. I don't know if I have another bus though. Kind of running out of buses. I could do it over here, but I don't have a bus to communicate with it with. Got some pins, but those are kind of sucky to communicate with. Test of data is greater than negative 999, which means it's not equal to -1. -1 means talked. Maybe -1 means this stuff. Yeah, this might be true. Save an instruction there. Maybe it's that. Let's see. So I found, okay, yeah, I haven't gotten all that. Simulate. Okay, it's sleeping. Still sleeping. Okay, now find a -1. So it's moving 1 into there. It's gonna come back. It's actually not gonna sleep because it already knows it because it's just watching. I'm gonna program this one to watch. Can I? I don't know if I can easily watch every frame. I can communicate over pins. And then test if P0 is 100. And if it is, then I'll do this stuff. I'll move 270 to X3. Otherwise, I'm watching. You know, and over here I need to move 100 into P0. And after I'm done, then I need to move 0 into P0. Okay, I told it yes, and then that's kind of late. I guess I could know off the whole thing. I like communicating on buses better, but I don't know if a good way to do that easily. I'll just put it late in the stack. Simulate. Okay, now it's 1. Okay, it wants input from X2, and there it is. And then sending 270 over here. 270 got there. All right, so I think that one's working. Like this is getting the data it needs, and this just needs to read the data. Let's try to see if I can do that. So it's going to send 2 ACC over across. And now it just needs to test. Test if X0 is 100. If it is, we'll add, what, 20? Test if X0 is 10. If it is, we'll add 50. Test if X0 is 1. If it is, we'll add 100. Something like that. Put a breakpoint there, simulate. Okay, we're at 50. Okay, we're at 150. Wait, that's wrong. Other order. That. Okay, we're at 50. Okay, now we're at 70, which is correct. Now we're at 170. Now we're at 270. Good. All right, we got the value stored in this one. That's correct now. Okay, so now it's waiting. Now just this instruction needs to come after the other one. Add a couple no ops. Looks like it didn't make it. Add a couple more. I think I can actually put this P in pin. No, it already is as high as I can. But I could reverse this logic probably to put it higher. So I wouldn't need these no ops in theory. And I could probably put this super high too. But I don't want it to be too high. Yeah, I don't want it to be too high. It's weird because it's like timing issues. Okay, so it set it to 0. I set it to 100. This one's on its like 4th instruction. Okay, right there. I have to have one knob, it looks like. Got a 270. Alright, got a 270, and then it moved to -1 at x3. What was the reason for that? Don't know if there's a good reason. Is there? I don't think so. Because as soon as it gets a value, it knows what to do. Yeah, I don't need a -1 there. Okay, so now I need to work on this guy. Actually, I know the reason -1 happened. -1 means, hey, xm, x1, don't just store, I want to recall. So we're testing if ACC is -1. If it's not, then we're going to move ACC into x0. And if it is, then we'll do some stuff like move 10 into x2, something. Let's see. So I got to here. Okay, I got 270 over here. Went to there. So that's 270. And I don't want to read that one. I want to read, actually I want to do this. I want to move 270 first. And then I want to set it, it's in the cache value. Move ACK. So really what I want to do is say move read IO to x2. So I haven't done that yet. That's to do. So let's see. So I'm getting a -1. There's the 270 coming across. There's going into there. Wait, let me watch that again. Okay. It's into -1. Good. And now it's going to move. Let's move x1 into x2. That is the actual. Okay, there's 270 right there. Still have to read the IO, which is stored up here. 00074395. Nice. All right, it's getting closer. So to read the IO, I need to move x0 to x3, and then move x0 to x2 a bunch of times, like 8 times. Probably best to do that with a loop. Move ACC into move 8. Jump 1. I don't need all this stuff. 2, subtract 1. Test if ACC 0. If it is, then we'll do these commands. Otherwise, we'll jump 2. And as usual, we almost run out of instructions. Of course, I have a comment in there. Whoa, it actually worked. At least that one did. Alright, so I need to remove this comment and then reset the data. Move 0 to x3. Because it was messing up where I was storing it, I think. Let's watch how it stores it. Okay, that's all good. 7, yep, 4, 3, 9, 5. All good there. Okay, we'll go get 270 tests. Okay, so we're at trying to read the data. Move 8 there. Okay, we're reading that data. Subtracting 1. It's not good, so we're going to not there. It's not a move there, it's a move here. There we go. There we go. I think it's working. No problem. Homemade credit card reader with packet transmission. I think the thing that would take forever is defining this test case. Like, it's nice that the game gives that for you. But in real life, like, coding test cases takes forever. Alright, so it didn't do too bad in terms of cost, kind of in the middle. Kind of high in power usage. I'm always fascinated that people get really low on production costs. Might be neat to look at some of these, come back and study how they did it. Let's return to email, see what they said. Great, I think we can really catch the wave with this one. Cryptocurrencies are really surging in popularity, again, thanks to the recent market fluctuations. It seems even people who work primarily with cash are giving up and looking for an easy way to convert their money to digital these days. I wish I had my own currency. It must be nice to use a medium of exchange that you can manipulate at any time you like. No politics, please, Carl. Right. To think I almost forgot. He's gonna get in trouble. Okay. See you next time on SHENZHEN.io.